Hey friends, I'm super excited to make some donuts with you today. We are going to be making these donuts from a bird's eye view. That means from above, looking down at our donuts. Now, if you have something that is circular in shape that you want to use to trace with, go ahead and grab that. I'm going to use this roll of tape. If you don't have something like this, don't worry, you can always trace your own circles. So I'm gonna go ahead and start, and instead of starting in the middle, I'm gonna start down here. I wanna make sort of an interesting composition, and I think one in the middle, it might be a little boring. So here we go. I'm gonna put mine down here first, and I'm gonna trace the outside. Now, if that makes you nervous or you don't have one, you can go ahead and draw your very own circle. Just practice once, twice, and go for it. When you draw your own circles, your donuts will look far more organic or natural. Now, before I add the hole, I'm gonna go up here. Maybe I want one hanging off the page. What do we think of that? And how about instead of using the outside, I make a smaller donut and use the inside. But before I go anywhere, I know that I can see the center of my donut here, so I just want to add the center hole. I never trace my center hole because I like the way it looks a little bit more natural when I just use my hand. How about that? And then maybe we need another one down here. What do we think? Right there? Oh yeah, another one hanging off the page. Great. And maybe let's take a big bite out of this. Let's make a half circle, but it's gonna be a bumpy half circle. There you go. And just erase your lines. Remember, use a light feather touch with your pencil. Otherwise, it's much harder to erase. Now, let's talk about some decorations. To add your frosting, you're gonna add a wiggly wobbly line right inside your first donut edge. Here we go. Just like that. Wavy line. Should it be perfect? No, it's your donut. Doesn't need to be perfect. How about we do one over here? I like frosted donuts. Excellent. And how about one over here? And there's one extra detail you could add. You could do frosting line on the inside also. That's fine. So here you have your frosting on top and you'll still be able to see your donut on either side. But this one, the frosting, imagine it dripped all the way in and you can't see the inside. That's fine. You're gonna notice here, I didn't use any hole. That's because it's my Boston cream. So I'm just gonna do a wiggly line for my frosting on the outside, or inside, excuse me, there we go. Now, let's add one more detail, and this is gonna be a little tricky. How about we try some drizzle? This is gonna be a little hard, so make sure you use a pencil. Don't go at this with a Sharpie or black marker yet. We'll get to that in a moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be going up and down like this, okay? So here we go, we're gonna go up, or excuse me, we're gonna go down and up. Down, skip it, and back up, and down, and pause. Now that's just one line. I want my frosting drizzle to be thicker. So I'm gonna make another line. I'm gonna echo that line. So here we go. Looks like this. And up. And over. Around. Whoop. Skip. Down. Up. And over like that. Now over here it's a little wonky. So maybe I wanna edit that line. See, I'm glad I used my pencil. I go down and back up like this. See that? Not bad, not bad. And right here you can see it's a little off center right here. Maybe I wanna make that a little longer, a little wider. That's totally fine. It's up to you. It's your donut, it's your drizzle. You are the artist. You are allowed. to do as you please. And we'll get to sprinkles in a moment. I'm gonna add those with my Sharpie because I don't need to go over and trace. But my friends, we are ready to trace our donuts. Remember, when you're using a Sharpie, be gentle, have a flow, like a brush stroke, okay? If you press too hard, you're gonna get those Sharpie dots, okay? So be gentle, take a deep breath, and begin tracing. How about we add some sprinkles to this one? What you're gonna do if you add sprinkles, you wanna make teeny tiny little rectangles, but you don't want them too tiny because if you place two Sharpie lines next to each other, it's gonna blend together to make one. So here we go. You're gonna make them a little bigger than you think you should. They're gonna be big, big, giant sprinkles, but they will be delicious. Don't forget to change the angle of your sprinkles. That way there'll be a little variance, a little excitement in your donut. Some are diagonal, some are sideways. Maybe some will be hanging off the frosting like that. I like that. Just go slow. Remember, artists don't rush. We always take our time. That's right. Awesome sauce. What do we think? Good? Oh yeah. My friends, it is time to color. If you have crayons, you can use crayons. If you have markers, use markers. I like coloring with crayons, but whatever you choose is up to you. One note here, make sure you color your sprinkles first. Otherwise, you risk accidentally coloring them in with your other frosting color. And remember, carefully and bold with those sprinkles so they really pop, pop, pop. If you're using markers, make sure you use the lighter colors for your sprinkles. Otherwise, they tend to kind of blend in together because markers are just so powerful. So you want to be careful to make sure you have a good contrast with your sprinkles and frosting. Excellent job, friends. Can't wait to see your tasty donut treats. But before I go, I wanted to show you one more kind of donut, and you're gonna look at it at kind of an angle. So instead of from the top, you're gonna look at it kind of from the side. So I'm gonna grab a new piece of paper and my pencil again. And instead of drawing or tracing a big circle, I'm gonna make a big oval, and you want it to be kind of a chunkster, a big oval. And here we go. See how I'm getting ready? Like that. Not the whole page, but you know, a good amount. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think I'm ready. And if you want to do a top and the bottom, you can. Here we go. Pretty good. Is it perfect? No. Does it have to be? No. Now, inside this oval, near the top half, okay? Not in the middle, little up here, you're gonna make another oval. So I'm gonna practice again. Here we go. Now I know this might look super weird at first. It looks like a weird kind of fried egg, doesn't it? Now we're gonna add sort of a frown or a rainbow line. That's a more positive way to say it. A curved line from one side of our small oval to the other. Here we go. That's it. And now we're gonna create the side of our donut by making a really wobbly, drizzly line of delicious frosting. That is it, my friends. Look at the difference. Look at the angle of our donut. What I love to do with these kinds of donuts is add a little foot, add a little smile and some eyes. We'll put an eye there. We'll put another eye right, what do we think, on top of the frosting or way over here? What do you think? I kind of feel like it should go right over here. And then a nice little smile. There you go. You could even add a little hello. Maybe this one's giving a thumbs up. Lovely. You just whoosh, like that to make it a thumbs up. You can make your eyes any which way you want. It could be a sleeping donut where you would go like this. But because I have a thumbs up, I do want to have my eyes open. And you can always add little reflection lines by adding a small little circle on the inside, but that will show up a little better once I color it in. And I'm gonna color this one with markers, but before I do that, let's Sharpie. Now that I'm done with my Sharpie, you can see I changed my mind where I wanted a few things, so I'm just gonna go ahead and erase my pencil lines. Remember, your pencil lines should erase fairly easily if you have been pressing light, like a feather. You never want to press too hard with your pencil because if you make a mistake, it can be super hard and super frustrating to erase, am I right? Oh yeah. Now, the one extra set of lines I want to show you, if you're willing to take the challenge, I'm gonna add just a few lines that go kind of around like this to show the top part of my donut. You do not have to do this. It's just a little curvy line I like to add. So I'm actually gonna curve around and go whoosh, whoosh, and like that. So they don't even connect, but it shows you that this is the top half of my donut. But it's not perfect and it doesn't have to be. Alrighty, what do we think? Should I add any sprinkles to the top or just let it be? How about those circular sprinkles? Let's do those. Yum. Now it's time to add our color. So I'm gonna get rid of these. And when you add your markers, make sure you're gentle. And I'm gonna start with my sprinkles first because I don't wanna accidentally color them in. And I'm gonna use a really light color so they stand out. Excellent. Now for the frosting, I think I want pink frosting again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna outline my frosting first to make it a little easier for me. Go slow. I'm not gonna get every part, and if you're afraid of going out of the lines or you can't really get to those edges, feel free to turn your paper like this. No problem, and now you can really get in those little edge spots, but you don't have to. Now remember, when you color in, you want to go with the curve of your shape. And that curve goes like this. Now around here, what I like to do is color around my sprinkles first. That way I won't accidentally color over them. Okay, now I have a big spot to fill in here. Remember, don't scribble scrabble. Markers don't lie. I will see if you're scribbling. It's stroke, 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 breathe. Stroke, stroke, stroke. stroke, breathe. I'm gonna turn my page too, because markers are like paintbrushes. You don't wanna rush, you wanna give them time to settle. Otherwise, the ink inside gets super shy and doesn't wanna come out. It gets all scratchy. Now, of course, we have to do our inside here. Now, if you have a darker pink, you could use that and it'll give it a little contrast, like a shadow. But I wanna show you how to create your own shadow using the same color in case you don't have a darker pink. So, here's how it goes. First, you do one layer. And wait. Then you're gonna give it a second layer and you're gonna watch it darken. See that? A little darker, but you gotta wait. And we're gonna do a third layer. See how it looks a little darker than that? You could even do a fourth, but be careful because your paper will be quite wet and you don't want your marker to pierce through. So this trick of layering is a way to really darken one spot when you don't have another dark color, which would also totally work. Now I'm just gonna color my donut vanilla flavored and we're all done. Feel free to add more to your background if you want to. Super fun. You could add a little mini donut friend. You could add little stars of sparkle if you want. It's totally up to you how you decorate your donuts. And that's all for now, friends. Can't wait to see your tasty treat creations.